Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jenn, and today we're going to talk about Scorpio season. We're going to go through all 12 zodiac signs and look at the energy forecast for each one with angel insights, of course, because we always work with the angels. Angels and astrology go together in my experience, and so it wasn't a negative. It's not a negative to me. So there's tools, there's forecasts of energy that for different signs may affect or be something different, and it narrows it down more and more when you look at your exact astrology chart. There's an angel for each astrology sign. So what we're doing is we're going to focus on the Scorpio season. Scorpio is a sometimes intense, transformative energy anyway. It's the symbol of, the end of something and the renewal and birth of something new. And so with the last, a couple years, but even in the last few weeks, it's felt a little bit different. I've noticed that it's just felt different. I'm noticing that I don't feel afraid, but I feel something big is coming. And we've been talking about it for years, that there's a renewal and a rebirthing in metaphysics and looking at Earth and fifth dimension and all of that kind of stuff. When you look at it from that perspective, life is changing. Earth is growing, moving into a higher frequency. And the more we move and align with that, the easier the flow. I mean, we don't know, we haven't all been through it, but this is what it's looking like. So forecasts are literally that. I mean, we have energy, and then we can see like, okay, that might be a stumbling block for me, but if you're aware of it, you can work with it. It's not trying to control outcome as much as it is being aware that there's an energy influence that may or may not be positive or negative for you. So all things that are going on here are all about our life growth, our spiritual life growth, our soul growth, our ascension. So we're going to look at them. We're going to go through the 12 signs. So I'm going to get right to it today, because angel guidance and support during transformative times for me personally is a blessing. I know for a lot of other people that work with them, it is. To know that you're not alone and all you have to do is ask for that support is amazing. They don't come in and do everything for you, but they do guide us and steer us and suggest basically options that you can take and choose. And that's the thing. We have to remember we have free will. So you can choose to ignore all of it, which is fine. I mean, that's your choice. It's not like that. But you can also choose to work with it. You can change your perspective. You can explore new ideas and new options. So all of us going through what we were talking about last week with the Rose of Venus is interesting, because we've never been in that energy influence before, because it hadn't happened since 1700s. Today we're going to work with this Scorpio energy and how it may affect individual signs as I go through them. And I can't tell you what those are if you don't already know them, but if you know what your sun sign, that would be the month you're born in. And I'm just working with this in lay terms for people that aren't familiar with a lot of this in astrology. So bear with me if you're very familiar. Then you're good to go. You probably already know what's going on. But this is for people learning and exploring, and they're not familiar with all those terms. So you want to look at your moon sign. If you were to look at your chart, you would have a moon sign, a sun sign, and a rising sign. If you know all three of those, then pay attention to that forecast for all three of those, because you can look at some of it works, some of it's resonating, some of it isn't. Not everything I'm going to say today will resonate or fit. You're going to take what works for you and leave the rest behind. Very important for you to know. So if energy is in motion all the time, and then we seem to be in this cycle of energy moving faster, I wanted to bring something up to you that angels taught me actually a few years ago. When we feel like it's going faster and faster and we're getting overwhelmed and stressed, and we may not be aware of it, what I'm suggesting is look for, is there any resistance within yourself about what's changing? Sometimes it's something falling out of your life, something coming, you know, if it's just change in general and you don't like it and you feel a little anxious about it. And this isn't saying that you're doing something wrong. It's just to make awareness. You may look at this and go, no, I don't feel like I'm resisting anything. Then this doesn't apply to you. But I would first look at, see if there's any resistance, because things seem to go faster than we want when we're not ready or we don't want it to. And I noticed that when we're describing energy, energy's natural flow is to move forward. That would be moving forward and constantly changing and evolving. When we try to hold it still and keep it the same, that's stagnant. And that's not what energy naturally does. We don't necessarily want to try to make it go backwards and recreate things that have already happened. Sometimes the past is the past and we can't recreate that. So you have this now energy and it may feel like it's moving fast. What I've noticed is when we try to, it feels like the opposite. When we slow down, relax, take the deep breaths, tune in and work with your meditations or your timeouts. Your self-care is so important right now. Has been for a few months now. It actually always is. Take that time to just sink. And it's basically, it'll feel like you're slowing down and stopping, then trying to run and jump through all the hoops. And it's not like you just sit and do nothing, but you're just going to take a different energy approach. Then it's weird because energy, when the higher frequencies are going, they feel like they're moving faster. It's because we're not aligned. And so the goal is, if you're moving in sync with it, it doesn't feel like it's going too fast and you're okay. So this is a work in practice that you would do as an individual. This is not something that'll be perfect every time. And when even the people that are experiencing this, and I've had it happen too, sometimes all of a sudden it just feels like it's going crazy, fast, and all these unexpecteds. First thing I do is I just stop. Michael taught me this several years ago, and it was the best thing he ever taught me. Archangel Michael. He's like, stop. Take deep breath, get grounded, center yourself. And it's more of a flowing with it, not against it. It's kind of like flowing with the current, not against the current. You know, if you live along the beach, you know what riptides are. You learn how to go with. And it's really interesting because when you're meditating, you'll feel, you know, when you're doing hypnosis or meditation, they'll say you're going down, but you're actually going up in an energy. And so think the opposite of what you know in your physical, and it may help you find your sync. Just a little tip. It may or may not work for you, but it has worked for me tremendously. So give it a go. If it doesn't work, move on, find something that does. So here we go. Now I have an affirmation for today. I really like this one because when we are feeling overwhelmed, things are just moving around, things are changing before we're ready, you know, it's just getting uprooted sometimes. This is a fantastic one to work with angels and just to remember they're always there. So the affirmation I wrote for today is, I am guided and supported with angels by my side. I am always grateful for their encouragement and support when making life choices. So that's a really good one. I've got it written down in the show description. It's on the show page at my website, JennRoyster.com if you're not knowing it. It's in the YouTube description, so you can jot that down and use it. It's a great comfort when you just acknowledge that they're there. They're there and ready, but they won't interfere unless you ask. So with the Scorpio season, so I'm moving quickly today. Thank goodness we have archives so you can go back and re-listen, because there's 12 signs to get through. So Scorpio season begins on October 23rd. That's just in 3 days, okay? That is when it will move from, the sun moves out of Libra and into the sign of zodiac, the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, like I said, is connected to transformation, cycles of death, rebirth. The death being metaphoric, like the end of something that was. And here's the thing, it could be something you love still, but it's just time for it to move on. It could be something you're just done with. It doesn't have to be, I don't want that anymore. Sometimes we just feel like, whoa. And sometimes you feel this little bit of sadness because something's moving out of your life and you loved it. That is part of it, but not all of it. Sometimes it's just time for something to move on so something better can find its way in with the rebirth. So that's part of it. Our lives might be reflecting this, and then we have an eclipse season here. The last eclipse season we had a few months back in April and May, they might come to mind. It might wander into the events from that time frame. So you're looking at that April, May time frame of this year. What was going on then? This might be popping up a little bit more intensified for you to find solutions, resolutions, tie it up. You might be able to see greater clarity on the journey of what's ending, what's beginning. Okay? It might be you're taking a new pathway in something you're still doing or continue to do. Lots of things like that. It doesn't mean just one thing or the other. Transformation can be uncomfortable, and sometimes it feels like we just don't want to let go. And that's the resistance I'm talking about. So as these layers come off gradually, you might find that you have deeper awareness on it. You might find that, okay, maybe this is beneficial, even though it makes me a little bit sad right now, but I know I'll find a better way. You might experience all these emotions in something else. That's why the angels are there to help us, to remind us that we are growing. It's kind of a spiritual growing pain, I guess, for our souls, but it's not a bad thing. It does have endings that seem big. It's a different for everybody. I'm not trying to put this in one box or the other. I just want you to know that you're looking to uncover blocks with Scorpio energy. It may reveal things to you like that. Something in the inner child that still needs healing. Things like that. Where are your motivations? Are you aware of what they really are? You know, is there something you want to change about the direction you're going? All of this is to help us. So we have Mars entering retrograde on October 30th as well. So we might feel energy shifting inward. Mars energy going retrograde will take you inside. And it's being, you know, what's going on with actions and motivations, and are they helping us or are they holding us back? So that's good review. That's a good thing to look at and pay attention to. So we have some layers coming off here in this Scorpio season between a Mars retrograde, eclipses, and all of this stuff. And Scorpio being transformative energy anyway. It's time to change it. It's time to redo it. Out with the old, in with the new is the thing that always comes to my mind. Dreams might be interesting in the last week. I don't know. They might be. So you want to pay attention. So here we go. We're going to start. You want to pay attention to the sun, moon, and your rising sign, or just the ones that you do know. If you only know one or two of them, that's fine. If you know all three, even better. So don't fret it if you don't know all three. Listen to what you do have, because that's where you are right now. Nothing's right or wrong. You can always go and explore and find out what those other ones are later. But this is archives, and you can come back and pay attention then. All right, we're going to start with Aries. That's the first sign of the zodiac. So here we go. Scorpio season is busy for an Aries. Opportunities, growth, transformation. Jupiter, the planet of expansion. It has been working retrograde through this sign. So Jupiter is the optimism and expansion, but it's been working backwards a little bit. But Jupiter in your sign carries an extra wave of positive luck. You know, like, hey, this is your opportunity. So Aries, heads up, it could be busy. Your opportunities for growth and change are happening. Aries usually doesn't have a problem with going for it, but the retrograde might make you feel more inner reflection. So don't worry about that. You might be feeling this as luck or not. I don't know. Jupiter stations and goes forward in December. So really gets moving for Aries next year. So right now it's in retrograde, so you're in a good planning stage of seeing which is going and changing and all of that. This is a positive energy all the way around for you. And don't be discouraged if things feel clunky or awkward or weird recently. It's doing that, honestly, I think, for everybody. But your ruling planet, Mars, is preparing to go retrograde under that Scorpion sun. So if you, on the 30th, so Mars retrograde feeling sluggish for an Aries, you're a go-getter and it makes you feel like you're slowing down. It's nothing to worry about. It might feel like you can't make a decision or you can't get going or you might feel burnout. It's an opportunity to restore. So you want to look at that as restoration. You don't want to rush into action because yours is coming at the end of the year. You're going to be working with this last little bit to get going then. The first eclipse is gentle for you. It falls on October 25th in the sign of Scorpio. So you have that going on. You have the second eclipse might be a little bit more intense. That's a blood moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus. So that's on November 8th. But this is going to get you thinking about your finances and your self-worth. This is going to get you where you need to be. You're going to find that you're ready to get rid of those blocks. You're looking for those barriers and beliefs that keep you from obtaining what you want to do, your abundance, what you deserve. You're going to be like, I'm done with this. Let's get this worked out. You're going to have that determination. That's going to help motivate you to get it going. Remember, that really kicks in at the end of the year. So the blood moon eclipses are about bringing an end to something that was. So remember, eclipses are a little bit more intense with soul growth. It puts fuel on the fire of what the energy is, but you will have a brighter chapter. You are basically taking, in a nutshell, Aries, this energy here is going to help you fine-tune, get the motivation and fire under you, get you ready for when you really want to be taking some action toward the end of the year into next year. But the opportunities are going to start presenting. So you're looking between now and that end of the year of, okay, let's get a plan going on here. Let's get organized so we're ready to go. So that's what I'm seeing for the Aries. Archangel Michael is going to be great for you because he's a go-getter. He's going to say, okay, I know you're tired. I know you're feeling burned out with that retrograde. Take a deep breath, get some rest. We're going to come back fresh tomorrow. And he will keep you encouraged. He will keep you from feeling discouraged because you're not moving fast enough. There isn't anything about going too fast with retrograde. There's a reason for them. They help us slow down and catch our breath and see things more clearly. They help us go inward. We have to go inward and get everything lined up. So if we're just constantly on this high speed, go, 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 without thinking, that's when we can trip up. So this is actually a benefit to you. Okay, Taurus. Taurus is next. Taurus. This one, Scorpio sits opposite of Taurus on the wheel in the zodiac. So this is always special for Taurus. Taurus and Scorpio have kind of a relationship there. It might feel intense this year as you're working through eclipses. The energy of Uranus is in the sign. That's a sign of a lot of change too. This one is good for receiving, the higher dimension energies for the year. Just really, really connect, really tap in, align it. You're going to feel like manifesting in your own life has a lot of changes. There's transitions, things unexpected happening all the time. Taurus doesn't like things to go fast, right? Taurus likes things to be methodical, grounded. They're very stern, hard workers, but they don't like change being pushed on them. Where this energy is, feeling like that a little bit. So at the end of the year, you might be able to start reflecting on where you really want to be and what's truly important moving forward. So this is a time that you might feel this little bit of disturbance in the air. But you can also go inward. You can make sure you're reminded to go grounding yourself, calming. The planet of Venus is also associated with Taurus, and that will be in the sun at the start of Scorpio season. And remember what we were talking about last week with the rose of Venus. You're looking at that a little bit more too. You want to help to activate that heart, get your heart, your passions, everything lined up with what truly matters to you. What's more important? Maybe what you thought was important in the past isn't as important anymore, or it's lived its time and it's time to put your focus elsewhere. That's something you might be finding that you experience. You may have to just really think about the values and how you can be of better service to them, how you want to move forward. Venus is nice and close to this one, so it's a good time to remind you about your self-care, prioritize that, put something into action that you know you need to be doing already for self-care if you haven't, if you've been neglecting that. Relationships might trouble you at times. They'll be on your mind. This is heart expansion. This is all that Venus energy that you're feeling. You're looking for that greater compassion. You're looking for that. There's more than one perspective to this. So it helps a Taurus that can be very stern, or what's sometimes referred to as stubborn, non-bending, to flex and see other perspectives a little bit better, and it can really help with relationships. The blood moon on November 8th falls right into your sign, so you want to it'll feel intense for a Taurus. So you want to be gentle. You want to just listen to what the messages are, the news, the unexpecteds, find out what's happening here. You want to watch your health. You want to pay attention to what's going on in your physical world. Make sure you're being healthy. So things like that for Taurus. Taurus likes the beauty of things, the grandiose, wanting to be comfortable and all of that, not wanting to be pushed into anything. But this is like kind of throwing the apple cart up in the air a little bit for you so you can adjust it properly for your own good, for your own self-care and health, and to move forward in a better way. So this is when eclipses fall into your sign. That's a gift because it's a good upgrade. It's a bigger chapter of soul evolution for you. So be willing to look at it, what it's wanting to show you. Well, I'm going to suggest that for every sign listening to what the universe is trying to show you or revealing to you. Just keeping an open mind and listening doesn't mean you've made a choice. So sometimes if you feel a lot of resistance, that's a good way to approach it, is listening to all the options. It doesn't mean you have to choose them, but listen. You might find one you prefer. You might find one that's a good idea for you. So make sure you're listening to that. Fill yourself with a lot of gratitude, because this is a powerful growth for you. This is a very powerful growth period for you in particular. So there you go. I know there's a lot here. Each one of them has quite a bit. We're going to move to Gemini. All right, Mars, the planet. The Scorpio season, Mars, the planet that rules over our motivation, energy levels, actions, is stationing retrograde in your sign. So that's where you're going to feel a little bit more. So Mars retrograde in Gemini, it might feel a little stronger for you. It takes about 2 years to travel around like that. Energy is rare. It might be unique for you. You will have Mars in your sign until March of 2023. So this is a few months of that for you, Gemini. So definitely the energy it's something you're going to have to be more comfortable with if you don't feel it comfortable now. It's more of working with it, not against it. Mars travels retrograde. You might find you're moving inward a lot more inward. Gemini is more of a air sign, more mental thinking, analytical stuff like that. You might find that your usual you know, if you're real sociable, you may not feel as sociable during this time. It might just be time for you to chill out, and because it's taking you inward to have that conversation with the self, just to be a little bit more aware of where you are and who you are. Because sometimes if you're a socialite or you enjoy all your crowds and your relationships and stuff like that, you might find that, let me rethink some of this. You know, it's just giving you that time to do that. So that's good. It's powerful for getting very quiet, stilling the mind, which it's a mental one anyway, and thinking about what motivates your actions. Why do you do what you do? You know, taking time to find out what that is. What are we doing? What's this autopilot I'm on? Is it really what I want? Do I need to change that? You know, repeating the same behaviors over and over again, things like that. Am I growing? Am I not growing? This is like, if we're burning the candle at both ends here and we're getting worn out, the Mars retrograde can bring this energy on that just, it's like, okay, it's time for you to rest. It's time for you to slow down and just restore yourself, because we don't take the time to do it. Sometimes the analytical mind doesn't know. I notice that I hear people like that tell me they just can't stop their mind, constantly goes. This might help you do that. So you might feel that, oh, I just can't focus on anything right now, or I'm tired, I want to rest more. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. Pay attention to what the energy is trying to show you. Give yourself time to rest and restore. All right. Now, this energy in the eclipse peaks on the 25th of October, a few days later. It carries new beginnings for you. It's very new. So that might be when you're looking at a new project. That might be the new client. You want to work out something that will be beneficial to you. You might start to feel that around the 25th. Be mindful, don't take on more than you can handle. Don't say yes to too many things and then you can't keep up. No, I know what that feels like. You have the best intentions in the world, but this is to be mindful of how much you're taking on right now. Remember, you've got to keep it simple, which might feel weird to you. Keeping it simple feels like I'm not doing enough if you're one of those that just goes. So you're looking to simplify it a little bit, to do a couple of things well, not try to do too many. The blood moon on the 8th will feel strongly attached to this. You might feel the intensity beef up a little bit then. You might find that you're getting information you didn't know it was there, unexpected surprises, things like that. Some of the information may give you that final decision. Okay, now I know what to do. I need to stop this and start that, or I need to continue this in a different path. It's going to bring something that you weren't expecting, information maybe you weren't expecting, that will help you make decisions. So that one actually sounded interesting to me. I feel like, wow, that'd be good to know. Eclipses connected back to April and May. You want to look at that. What was going on for you? Clearing, closure, something popping up. Pay attention to April and May from this year. What was going on then? You might find there's a little bit more intensity in that area. I know. Cancer sign, here we go. Scorpio is a fellow water sign. So you're always going to feel connected to that because it's another sign in the water, in the feeling. When the sun is entering Scorpio, Venus hovers close. Remember, sending that loving, supportive, compassionate energy. You're going to like that. That's going to feel natural for you to just be a sponge and absorb that. You're going to like that. That's a great position for you because you want to open up to that. That feels natural to you. You feel the emotions. You feel from the heart. You want to create more beauty in your life. You want to create that new level of creativity. This planet, Venus, that's going to be bringing this influence in is connected to relationships. So you might find that the relationships are taking on a whole new level. The energy is just growing and it's deepening a relationship in a positive way. So sometimes we take those things very sacred. Relationships and our home and our families and our people that we love. We feel very protective of them sometimes, but don't forget, this is going to remind you self-care and nourishment under this energy too. Don't forget about yourself. You can't be present in relationships 100% unless you're okay. So you want to make sure you're being, this is reminding you of that. These are good vibrations that you will feel. Scorpio season, in eclipses and retrograde, might bring a few challenges for you. So with the eclipse on the 25th, you might find that it might stir issues back from April, May again. So April, May is a good one for everybody to be looking at. What was going on for you then when that eclipse comes around? That's a significant event or life-changing that occurred during those months. What was big that happened in those months for you is what you're looking for. You're looking at, you might find that you're revisiting it. You're feeling that it's time to tie up the loose ends. Let's bring us to a final ending and closure, that kind of thing. It could be anything. It could be you've been trying to repair something at your home or something. It could be very simple. It could be very big. So open and expand your mind to see all of it. Any of the signs, honestly, look at that April-May timeline during the eclipse. So after the eclipse on the 30th, you have the Mars stationing in retrograde. So that Mars retrograde, that one is time to reassess motivations and actions again. It slows down that forward take action and helps us reassess where we want to go with that. What's really driving you? Is there fears popping up that might be causing some tricky outbursts of emotion? You're looking for that. Something sensitive, something that is a fear that you feel is just keeping you trapped in something. It isn't going to be for everyone, but if you are picking up on that, you want to pay attention to what's going on with that, because you don't want to be escaping or avoiding a fear. You want to be able to walk through it and it not do that to you. You want to be able to find, okay, I don't want this holding me back anymore. So this energy is about that Mars planet is going to help you overcome them. That energy helps you overcome the fears and go. So working with that and kind of finding a way to sync with that is going to be very helpful. The angels for that type of thing are Michael again. But with all of this that I'm seeing with this self-care, Raphael is coming in very strong right now and asking me to address all the signs. Raphael and all of the healing angels, there's a whole posse of angels at work out there. But there's this, you have to know that your self-care is probably one of the most important healing things you can do for yourself. You can contribute to the planet. You can contribute to being part of humanity in a positive way when you're taking care of yourself. So that goes body, mind, spirit, all of it. Whichever one is going, that's needing a balancing act here. Mars, there's two choices. We can either fear to go with it, or we can go with it and just let it take us through there. Not be afraid to try for our dreams. The emotions of Cancer sign is what can trip them up a lot. It's hard because they feel. And it's a water sign, so they are driven by that a lot. And sometimes they just would rather go inside and not feel that. But eclipses can help you. Mars energy can help you. This whole Scorpio energy can help you because that's what you're fine-tuning. So you might find that it's just time to push some of this aside and move forward. So I'm going to give you that. Leo, let me go into Leo. Leo, Scorpio, that one brings, the Scorpio season for Leo is going to have 2 eclipses in Mars retrograde. So when you have a focus on another aspect, you want to look at Venus and the Sun. The Sun is a cosmic ruler. So if you have Venus and the Sun that come together on the 22nd of October, which we were talking about before last week, and then you have this energy in the first 2 weeks of Scorpio season with Venus, the Sun, there's this beautiful harmonious vibration that can uplift you in creativity. Leo is going to love that. There's the love, the beauty, the creative, the passion. You know, you might feel a little extra sensitive in your heart energy, your feelings, your emotions, but it allows you to move through the world with more compassion for someone else, maybe some more kindness, maybe more awareness of, wow, I can't really relate because I've never experienced that, but I can have compassion for what they're going through. Things like that. You're not expected to completely understand something if you've never been through it, but we can have compassion without being caught and pulled under by it. That's big. That's a big one. So think about this. There's a lot of joy. Leo loves that. Leo's, wanting to embrace all of that, that kindness, that joy, infuse more love and joy into life. You're going to be motivated to do things like that for everyone, for yourself. You're going to want to put that into your life if it's not there. You're wanting to be truly happy. What makes you truly happy? You want to address that. You want to look at what's under this energy that's trying to show me what is it that I need to do so I know that I'm on the path of my happiness that I truly want and I want to share. You're very excited about things like that. Find ways to be grateful in everything that comes up in your life that you love. Find ways to be grateful for everything that you have. So gratitude is a powerful, powerful place to be. It can lift your energy. It can lift your frequency. There's energy levels that can be healed with it. I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. So if this also rules your ability to take action and make decisions, what decisions would you make? This is going to have a lot of energy that's really going to help you. Where is there maybe a fear of expansion? Or am I ready to go for it? Am I ready to reach for the stars kind of thing? Leo likes this kind of stuff. It's kind of a grandiose sound, but they have this energy that's just passionate about things like this. So you're looking for that. You're looking for how this can work for you, not against you. So make sure your actions are rooted from where? Is it your ego or your heart passion? You're looking for where is your actions rooted? Does that need changing? Things like that will be coming up for you. Let me see, the new moon, you'll be having some opportunity, that new moon eclipse, opportunity to plant new seeds, to blossom into something big and grand when the time comes. So I see this as a lot of positive energy here. I see this as an opportunity to just take it seriously, get in touch with what's going on inside, and then get a plan of what you want to put out forward when it comes time. A brand new, perhaps lucrative opportunity might be coming your way. Alternatively, big projects could be coming to a close. Something might need to stop abruptly because there's a reason. And you don't want to have a fear of stopping something that needs to stop. That happens to just about all of us, but that was a big one I saw. If there's something that's showing that it needs to end, is there a reason you're afraid to stop it? Number two, if it doesn't stop, it might be in the way blocking the new opportunity to come in. So you want to look at that. It can be scary to push forward through things like that, but that's why you want to take that time to go inward and be with your thoughts and your passions and your heart and your feelings, not to avoid them, not to be so busy that you don't have time to think about things. You don't have to do it 24/7, but take the time to do it. Virgo. Okay, this is one of the most profound cosmic events of the year for you. So you might be feeling the weight of this intensity a little bit. You might be feeling it more. If this resonates, make sure you're making some self-care time, some rest. You're slowing down. You want to be graceful with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Don't overfill your plate. Okay, don't overfill. It's really not the time to overfill the plate. Don't take on too many things. It's like life is trying to get us to do that. Like, take this on, do this, do it that way, do it and you're just feeling it. You may feel it a little bit more. So maintaining some firm boundaries and saying no where you need to say no and putting your needs first is going to be very powerful for you during this time. Scorpio season brings a lot of challenging moments at times, so it offers some good ones too, some really beautiful ones. This comes in that Venus energy that's on the 22nd of October. So this in particular for you, it can help you expand your creativity. You can open your heart a little bit more. You can deepen that connection with the things that you love, with people that you love, with activities and projects you love, with what you love. Give yourself time for that. Venus rules over our values too. So it's a good time to reconnect with what's important to you. What are your values? Do they need updating? You know, have I taken time to look at, you know, everything that I'm putting all my energy into? Is it bringing value to anything? To yourself, to someone else, whatever. You want to make sure you're paying attention to that. You're going to feel that a little bit deeper, I think. So energy might feel strong at times. The retrogrades, the eclipses. Make sure you're looking back at that April, May again to see what was going on for you. The Mars energy does help us to slow down when we're trying to push too hard. So there's a benefit in that. Even though we feel like, oh, now I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I'm being lazy. No, you're not. It's time to slow down. We're coming into the end of the year. This is a new moon eclipse coming in Scorpio. This one can bring opportunities for new beginnings for you. So make sure it's a potent, eclipses are potent anyway. So make sure you take the time to put your intentions out there. When you find your need, retreat, rest, and just time to be quiet, make sure you don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. Make sure you're doing that. Blood moon eclipses are known to bring endings anyway. They're kind of abrupt sometimes. That's just the energy of them. We don't want to be afraid of that. We want to just know that maybe it's just we've known all along that this needed to stop, or we needed to change directions, and we just were avoiding it. This has given us opportunity to find out what we need to do. So it can be a lighter, refreshing lift of energy when we finally just go, you know what, yeah, okay, here we go. Because those new opportunities are just waiting to come in, and sometimes our plates are so full, and that's a really good way to look at it, all the signs. If your plate is so full, you're so busy, you don't have 5 minutes to think, 5 minutes for yourself. How can anything else come in that's waiting for you in the wings with energy and opportunities that the universe wants to bring? So the things that are just clogging it down are probably more than likely where to look at and investigate to see if that's possibly what needs to go away. Just look at that. Libra, let's go into Libra. Libra, this is moving out of your zodiac sign, so you're going to be ready to start your new chapter. You're going to be feeling like you're ready to move. Inspiration, energizing you, feeling new life, breathing into whatever you want to do. You feel something has shifted. You're going to feel that. You're ready to begin something new. You're ready to go. So this is kind of a timing for you. The universe is ready for you to bring a new beginning into your life. The planet Mars and the action energy being retrograde helps you to take time for your motivations and think a little bit deeper about the intention and the direction you want to take. This allows us to create from a place of intention rather than ego. And when we take time to really look and see if we're aligned with what we want to do, it really helps to make sure we're on the right track here. It's worth it. It's worth that extra 5 minutes. So if you're going so fast you don't have time for any of this, I would look at that. I would look at, is there a way to just simplify things here a little bit? Maybe I'm doing too much, something like that. Retrogrades influence our energy levels. Mars retrogrades do. So because that's a go, go, go when it's direct and then it goes retrograde, it can sometimes, if you're a high energy person like that, you can feel like it makes you sluggish. It's to slow you down so you can think, so you can see where you are. So try to, it's reminding yourself to take that positive position when you feel that, because it can feel weird to you if you're used to going all the time. Sometimes we can even have like a fogginess to our thinking in that energy, and you're used to just going and thinking and you're moving, and then all of a sudden like, why can't I get going? Because maybe it's just time to stop and think and regroup. So you'd be surprised how much more benefit you'll, when you come out of it and it moves again, you'll feel better clarity. You'll be more productive. So there's a reason for breaks, okay? Even the universe puts breaks in. You know, you got this work day and you have breaks in there, or you have a lunch hour, and it's like the universe is putting them in there in our life. And it's like, it's time for you to take your break. It's time for you to go to, yeah, it feels like that. But you know, when I look at it that way, it kind of makes me smile, and I realize, yeah, they got a point to that, because we always push, push, push. I know that I have a tendency to do that, and it's very hard for me to just stop. And then at the same time, I don't like to be pushed to go too fast. And then at the same time, I want to go, go, go. So I find that this helps me. This helps me to go, you know what, just stop. Just stop and let it settle and see where the chips are. See what's fallen around you. See what's in place. See what's not in place that should be. See what's in place that needs to not be. Things like that. So this second eclipse in Scorpio season and the blood moon on November 8th, that's definitely a little more intense for you. That might catch you by surprise, and you might feel like a little off kilter with that one. We're still talking about, what are we talking about Libra. That's Libra. So this helps you move to a level that's beyond, a higher level, because it might catch you off guard, like, whoa, I thought I had, you know, I was aware of everything. This is just a good wake-up call, and it's nothing negative. It's just more of a catching you by surprise a little bit. You might feel that with that moon eclipse. If you're moving through challenges during this Scorpio season, Venus will bring you the support. Venus, the love, the joy, the angels. There's Archangel Jophiel, that's fantastic. Archangel Haniel is the angel for Venus. Remember the Rose of Venus. Haniel. Raphael is a healing angel in all of his, but there is groups of angels. There's abundance angels, there's healing angels, groups. The archangel of healing angels is Raphael. Okay, you see? So there's protective angels, there's, you know, our guardian angels work under Archangel Michael. So when you need that protection, or you need that grounding, you need that logic, you need that plan, say Michael's pretty good for that. I mean, really good, actually. We have a lot of angels that can help us. The energy of Venus helps us expand and open our heart and spirit. So Haniel is very good with that energy. Remember, we were talking about that last week. If you have not heard that show, that goes into a specific, interesting energy that we'll have with us for a little bit. Now we're going to go into Scorpio. So we are now at Scorpio. We're almost getting there. Scorpio, this is the birthday season for Scorpios. So this is your season, and it will be busy. There's a lot going on. You might need to prioritize self-care here. Prioritize self-care. You have 2 eclipses during the Scorpio season. The first is a new moon solar eclipse on the 25th, and the second is a blood moon on November 8th. That's for everybody, but in particular, when it's bringing a highlight to this on the signs, there's a little bit more. So your birthday, if it falls within 1 to 3 days of those dates, you might feel those eclipse energies a lot stronger. So if you're feeling it near that new moon solar eclipse, October 25th, or the blood moon eclipse on November 8th, if your birthday falls within a few days of that, you may feel those influences of energy a little bit more. So keep that in mind. Having a solar eclipse close to a birthday means it's a year of transformative new beginnings for you. So lunar eclipses close to your birthday means it's a year of transformation, completion, and endings of things. If the eclipse is focusing more on your health and well-being, you may find that themes for this are in your year ahead. You might be looking at, wow, I've just got to balance my life out. The sun entering your corner of the zodiac, Venus will be hovering near, sending graceful, peaceful, compassionate vibrations to you. So you'll feel these things being supportive to you during that time. Venus meets with Sun about once a year, so it's rare and it's a special energy that you can enjoy. The energy of Venus can also expand your hearts and connect you into the inner goddess within. So just know you have everything in place to support you. All of you, all the signs, everybody. But Scorpio, this is your birthday month, so you might be feeling things more. Remind yourself that gratitude for whatever you have in life, taking time to just really appreciate where your values are coming from, what's important to you as well, things like that. Mars retrograde could kind of challenge your energy levels a bit because you have a busy schedule. So that could feel like, I got all this stuff to do, but I don't have the energy for it. Don't worry about it too much, but try to find your balance. Try to find those moments where you can rest. I know, self-care, self-care, self-care. It's just there, right? And all of them. Give things time to be patient. Give them time, patience. Don't rush. You're looking at what's going on. You might feel the intensity and the transformation, but you're going to find your clarity on what needs to happen. You'll know when it's time, or what you're giving to others or what you're giving to yourself is in balance. What needs to end, what needs to start. You're looking for a balance. You're looking for this season to give you some answers. You've been so busy, you haven't had time to think. So you're given the opportunity here as well to just go deeper. Scorpio energy naturally takes you deeper to deeper healing levels. It just does, whether you're born there or not, but you might be feeling it more. So you're just looking for that open heart and ready to begin a new chapter, and let this energy tell you something. You got to stop and take the time to listen to it. That's really something I'm noticing a lot in common for several of the signs, is we just have to slow down and pay attention to what it's trying to bring to us. Listen, take the time. It's like, here, read this article. It's like, I don't have time to read the article. It's an example here. If we just stopped and read the article or read the instruction manual of something we just purchased that we don't know how to use, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like, okay, let me just read how to first, instead of just jumping in and then I get frustrated because I can't figure it out. That's a great analogy for a lot of the things I'm seeing in the astrological energy, is just take the time to listen to what the universe is bringing to you to help you with it. Sagittarius. The Sagittarius, this one is coming up for you next. So Scorpio means you are up next. It's going to move into yours next. So right before it begins, this is a theme of endings, completion, needing to find closure again. You're looking to wrap things up or bringing things to a close. So you might find that you've reached a time where it's time to harvest. It's time to reap the benefits of everything you've done. You may find you're in that position. Think of it like a garden that's ready to harvest. That's a great analogy for this one. You're going to feel like you're there. If you can pay attention and find the gratitude for everything that's coming your way, this really sets you up good for where it'll be beneficial for you to get yourself aligned, organized, have a plan before you're moving into the next phase. And give you that motivation before the energy is going to slow you down, but you're going to get that motivation like, okay, I'm all ready to go, and now I'm going to move into this rest time, because this is the harvest, and now I'm going to rest before we plant a new season, plant a new chapter, plant a new garden, for example. So yours is coming up, so this is your opportunity to get things worked out before you go into a rest period. So there you go. How about that? The love, beauty, relationships, that's going to be active under this one for you. You may find the blood moon is the second of the series, and it's going to be intense for you. You might feel that a little bit more, especially if your birthday, as you're entering that birthday. It could be things are shifting in your life. It could be that you feel like you're being forced to move in a direction you weren't ready to choose. that's where I would say go back and listen to the instruction manual. The universe is like going, hey, we got this little tidbit for you, and this is what we were suggesting. You're going to need that you have to take on new habits. You might find new habits. Changing your routine in some way is going to be beneficial. It could be the slightest little just rearrangement in the order of events that you do on a daily basis will settle it down. It could be, I mean, sometimes it's as simple as, do you take your shower in the morning or you take a shower at night? Maybe if you just switched it. I mean, I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be major, scary. It could be just a simple routine in your day that you shift that could help you. This is a Sagittarius. It's interesting. There's an unexpected energy that seems to be floating around this for several of the signs around the eclipse time. So taking that time to pay attention to what the universe is trying to show us and lead us in, it's like, well, hey, we've got this for you. This is where angels come in, guys. When you feel like, whoa, the unexpected just happened to me, what do? Ask your angels for a little guidance. They're not going to fix it for you, but they're going to guide you and give you some suggestions on, hey, it might help if you blah, blah, blah. You know, and you could try and choose, and then you choose. They don't choose for you. They just offer some guidance. So, I mean, they offer guidance, they're there to support you, but you've got to take the action. With all this retrograde energy, the action would be to self-care and slow down and listen. That is really, ironically, the action to take right now. Capricorn, I want to get through these signs. Capricorn, you have that reputation of being the most motivated and driven. That is a Capricorn sign. But during the Scorpio season, you might feel the need to slow down as well. You're going to feel like you've been burning the candle at both ends. You feel burned out. That's how you may feel this. You might feel burned out. This is your time to take your self-care and rest. This planet of action and motivation that's going retrograde, turning inward, this is when we question all these motivations and decisions behind the actions that we've been making. You might be second guessing, why am I doing all this? That's why you want to go there. That's why you want to listen to this. Why am I doing all this? Do I want to continue to do all this? Is this beneficial? Is it working? Because then when it goes direct again, you'll know which way you want to go or not go anymore. So this global energy is hitting us all in a similar way, but slightly different for the signs. You might find that you feel encouraged to let go of some old, worn, outdated beliefs. You might be ready to ascend in a new direction. You feel different about things that you might be finding that things you used to believe in just are changed. You don't feel the same way about it. That doesn't mean it was right or wrong before. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong now. It just means you're ready for something different. So you want to explore that. It feels unknown. You might be feeling like, well, I don't know. Should I keep it or go it? You know, go with it. What am I doing here? You don't want to be taking life too seriously right now. You want to take that time out to just let it wrap up. Let it show you what it needs to show you. Because you are a sign that goes. It's motivated. But at the same time, what is the motivation behind the things you do? And is it worth it? Is life going the way you want it to go? So this whole eclipse gateway, this Scorpio energy, it's really bringing all the signs up to a time where we're going to be feeling it. It's telling us to slow down and stop, but at the same time we feel like, why aren't we doing enough? Because it wants you to reevaluate. It wants you to reevaluate because the world's changing a lot. I don't know if anybody else has been feeling this or not, but I've been feeling like there's a lot of movement and shift. I've been feeling different about the way I'm approaching things. Or, I mean, we've just gone through that big hurricane here, and believe it or not, there's still floodwaters going on down here that they're dealing with. They haven't even cleaned everything up yet. So there's a lot, and I feel like we'll see more of it. But it's like, well, okay, let's be smart and wise. Don't be afraid of the other shoe falling. Let's just be ready. And I feel like that right now. I feel like, well, I've done everything I can to make sure that we're good, we're safe, we've done what we can do. But I think it's global. I think everywhere around the world, we're looking at what could we do better? How can we be ready? How can we keep our family safe? How can we be happy? This is global. This is everybody. So I want everybody to know that we're seeing a lot of this self-care, slow down, reevaluate. What are your priorities? We're seeing this over and over again in the astrology forecasts. But there's a reason for that. They are really trying to be clear, like maybe we should listen to that. So I'm going to move forward to Aquarius. We've got a couple more to go here. And I know I'm going over, but I want to get through all 12 signs. So I'm at Aquarius, only got a couple more here. Aquarius brings a lot of planetary changes and shifts. This energy in Scorpio will bring that for you. You may feel extra sensitive right now. Your ruling planet, Uranus, has been quite active for the last few months. So you're feeling a little bit scattered, maybe indecisive. You might be feeling like you're over here, you're over there, all over the place kind of thing. You might not know which way to turn or go. You don't need to worry about that. Clarity is coming. It may not be right now. But I'm just trying to acknowledge that you might be feeling that a little bit more like that. You might feel that this, you need to leave with like this rest. You have this restlessness or irritability. Maybe you're having a hard time sleeping at night. Creativity is coming. Your day-to-day routine. There's no limits here. You might want to look at some things that you enjoy that take your mind off all of it, because there's just too much mind chatter going on for you. Like for me, I would go paint, or I would work in my garden, or you might do journal, something that you enjoy that just you forget about things for a little bit. That'll help you give your mind a rest, because sometimes that mind chatter is exhausting. Yes, exhausting. Read fiction, like get out of trying so hard to figure it out all the time. Sometimes we just got to take a break from that. Sometimes you're actually in overdrive trying to figure it all out. You can get lost in different places and different things and forget about it a little bit. Not avoid all the time. Now, I'm not talking about avoiding. I'm saying for this energy, it's like you're doing too much of being there where you need to take a break. Remember the lunch breaks, the coffee breaks. Remember, you got to take a break. You have to sign out a little bit every now and then to restore. Okay? It's important. You spend time there, but then you go about it. You can't just stay 24/7 in it and expect to not feel exhausted. Or now you're overthinking. So this can be a tendency for that. So you're looking to just balance out that overthinking mind and give it a chance to rest. Give yourself some activities that shift it a little bit. I thought that was pretty interesting, because that Aquarius energy is a lot of thinking. A lot of thinking. It's an air sign. So you're looking also at the eclipse energy. So that eclipse, you could find that decisions that you've been longing to make are coming into clarity. They may or may not. But the eclipse season will help you move to higher levels of consciousness. You love that. That's natural for you. So take the break now a little bit. And then when it's ready and you feel like, yeah, okay, let me go back, it's going to be a lot easier for you to make the trip for that. It'll be easier for you to tap into it, because you won't be so exhausted. So I see that as a really positive way to approach the Aquarius during the Scorpio season. Keep your vibration lifted. Just remember, any restless energy, put it into something creative. Anything you like to do. It might just be reading a fiction novel or watching something fun on television. Anything, just to get your mind off things for a bit. Give yourself a break. The Pisces, last one, guys. Pisces energy. This is a water sign, okay? You're very connected to energies with this zodiac, by the way. So Scorpio, you're also very naturally a creative soul. You're very spiritual anyway, naturally. So this creative juice flows in from Venus. So you may feel a harmonious creative vibration with this, and where you can soak it up and feel inspired. If you are in the creative field, if that is what you do, you might find yourself doing some of the best work you've ever done under this energy. I thought that was pretty cool. Mars being retrograde on October 30th, that might feel like you're slowing down as well, but it's a good position to take time to really create from the heart, to feel like, oh, okay, I'm not trying to catch up with my list of to-dos. I can actually just let it flow. You're going to love that. A creative person, if you are a Pisces under this energy, you're going to love that feeling. So if you have set some deadlines, give yourself, if you have to set deadlines, which we all have in jobs, but if this is your thing, you want to give yourself plenty of time to make sure you, when you give a deadline, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to make sure you can do it. Don't cut yourself too short. You don't have to worry about it, but don't cut yourself so short. You know, put a little buffer in there for the unexpecteds, because they happen, okay? They happen. You will enjoy this energy, and it will take the stress off to just flow from the heart. So you're going to absolutely just take this and run with it, and it's going to be amazing. The eclipse season is expanding with your mind. You will feel very connected into these energies. You might feel completion points, things coming up like that. You will have some unexpecteds, but you will enjoy this energy from a creative perspective. That's what I'm seeing for that one. So overall, guys, there's a lot of energy here that was the same as far as like paying attention, quick tidbits. Pay attention during Scorpio season to what was going on in April and May, because this eclipse ties in with that eclipse. It kind of is, that was the beginning of it, and then this is the closure of whatever was popping up for you in that time. I saw that through several signs. Self-care, number one priority over everything else. If you feel sluggish, if you feel burned out, if you feel overwhelmed, stop and take time to rest. Number two, that was a common one. The angels that can help you. Michael can help you if you're feeling the stress, overwhelm, anxiety, fear. You see decisions coming, but you're really nervous about making them. You may not make them right now, but you'll see which ones you do need to make. You'll find that when you're coming out of this and we go moving forward again, you're like, I'm ready to do this, but I'm so nervous about it. Let Michael help you with that and ease you and walk with you side by side with that. Raphael, healing energies with all of his healing angels, amazing. There's abundance angels if you're looking to work with that. But guys, when it comes to the abundance, look at it this way. You're looking to have that abundance and joy and balance in your life and the type of life you want to live. So if you are clear with the type of life that you want to live and what you want to do with your life, then let the opportunities of the finance that you need to support it fall in that way. It's easier than going, okay, I need to make this amount of money and I need to do it this way. That's being really specific and limiting the ways it can come in. So it takes that pressure off, and it can help you stay focused on, this is what I enjoy doing, and being really clear, showing that taking action in that. The taking action part in this, and just a reminder, and then I'm going to let you guys go, is if it's time to slow down, it's time to restore, if it's time to rethink things, time to get priorities straight, then listen to that. The universe is providing opportunity here for major transformative energy, eclipse season, eclipse moons, lots of stuff. You may see unexpecteds. You might find that something, and an unexpected could be, you knew something needed to change and now you're finally seeing what it is, and it wasn't what you thought. You know, you thought maybe it was something else, and now you're realizing, oh, wow, it's that. Okay. You'll know with this peace and sense of like, okay, that's what needs to happen. You feel nervous about it, ask Michael to help you out with that, to have the courage to do what you got to do. So I'm going to say hello to my chat people, because I know we went over, but there was so many signs and there was a lot in there. I just want to say hello to everyone quickly. Oh, hey, hello. We got Donna, Veronica, Robin. It's so good to see you guys. I haven't seen you in a while, Robin. Good to see you. Journey to Becoming Me. Good morning. Absolutely feeling the love of being able to exhale when I join all of you. Awesome. Let's see here. The Express speaks unapologetically. Good morning to you. Well, that's an interesting thing. Y'all, you're Journey to Becoming Me, a Virgo. Okay. Yeah, crazy dreams. I'm not a Virgo. I think my moon is, though. And I think so. Yeah, it is. I know. But in the last 4 nights, no joke, crazy dreams. Crazy dreams. Oh, you're getting, okay. So congratulations to Robin. Let's see, resonate, let's see. Oh, finances flowing, moving to Colorado, getting married. Congratulations to you on getting married. That sounds like you're excited about it, moving to Colorado. Sounds like you're ready for things to line up. It's good to hear from you and see how that's going for you. That's amazing. So guys, I know we've gone over. Yeah, I always say Aunt Karen thought I had to do more, but it's the opposite. Yes, exactly. This energy was interesting to read out for you guys, and there was so much I'm trying to get in there. But it's like, it's so crazy with energy, because sometimes when it comes with the universal energy, you're feeling like, I gotta like do more, but you actually do less. It always reminds me of those amazing sages that just seem to have it figured out and never get upset about anything. And they don't speed up, they just do what they do. And that's just, it's just something about just, it's like a stopping and smell the roses thing. And instead of pushing so hard, that pushing is something that's more of the physical world, not the spiritual world. When we can align them together, we have that flow that's amazing. So I personally don't want to be stressed out all the time trying to make sure something is going a certain way. I used to be like that when I was much, much younger, but I'm finding that it's a lot more enjoyable in life to just line up with it. And each day I take time to do that. So I'm working and tweaking all the time too. I mean, when I tell you these things and I'm looking and I'm trying to just give you guys an idea of what to expect, it can go in so many different directions, and it's up to us individually to choose what we want to do with that energy and choose what we want to do moving forward, or be and say and act, and you name it. What's more important to you? So think about it. Where are your values? I guess I just really want you guys to know, oh, Aunt Karen of Pisces. Oh, gotcha. Man. Okay. So we have an interesting group here, different signs, but let me tell you what. This is all pre-recorded. If you missed some of them that you need to listen to, you can go back and listen through. I do go in order, so you can find which one you need. But I really want everyone to take the time to really just value how important you are, and know that you bring and contribute to the world. You're here. You have a reason to be here. So you don't have to stress about what it is. Your soul, it already knows what it's here for. It's more of just not fighting what it is and going with it. So I hope that you have found some insight today. I hope that if you just take the time to look at these over the next few weeks with the energies that are flowing right now, it will help you. And don't stress out if things feel like they're slowing down a little bit. Sometimes that's a blessing in disguise, honestly. So I want to say thank you, guys. I'm going to let you go because we have gone way over time. And I will see you next time here on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this